Hello everyone and welcome to Tiva Talk, a channel where we focus on the unrecorded stories and where we kind of like have a look at the progress that people make and the successes, and we also celebrate their successes, the untold stories. Today on the channel we have yet another nerve-wracking guest, and this is the first-born son in the clan. As you may remember, we had Alicia in the previous interview, so I thought we should have the first born in the boys, and his name is Alma. I'll just let him introduce himself. So, Mr. Al, could you kindly introduce yourself?
I'm Alma. I'm 18. I'm a uni student.
Uni student, okay. Is that the kind of definition that you would give to people who say, who is Alma? What would you say in addition to that?
He's a athlete, hard worker, and maybe a skilled person.
All right. Whenever you finish giving me that introduction.
No, I'll just use 3 words. I'm just saying I'll just use 3 words to describe myself.
Okay. Is that how you describe yourself? What would be the 3 words?
Probably that.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned an athlete. Could you just explain what that means in a nutshell?
I'm not just stuck to one sport. I'd say I dabble and dabble in many other sports as well. Not necessarily playing them at like a competitive level, but just actively doing them.
Okay. So currently, what sports are you actually actively partaking in?
Heavily football, but I watch basketball as well. I watch like MMA, boxing. I would say cricket, but
Okay.
I'd say just then.
Okay. It's good to know because being an athlete is quite a wide area, but you focused on football. Are you playing for a particular team at present?
Yeah, I play for DNS Valley.
All right. And what league are they in?
We're in the Wearside League.
Okay. And what does that mean to somebody who doesn't know about football?
Where we're from, obviously it's County Durham, but the particular league that we play in is just teams in Wearside, so that's like Sunderland Way, like parts of Durham, etc.
Okay. So how long have you actually been playing football?
I'd say I joined my first team when I was 12. Yeah. So at a competitive level, 12. That's it.
Okay. Taking it back to when you were 12, is that the first time that somebody actually spotted you to? I remember you had a bit of a stint in was it Sunderland Academy?
Yeah.
Was that the time that you
No,
were?
that was before.
Oh, it was before.
So
Okay.
I was in school, in primary school.
Okay. So what actually happened, you know, with that?
It was when we had a Sunderland coach that came in every week, and we just go onto the field and play football, and he saw something in me and brought me to trials at Sunderland Academy.
Okay. So how was that? How was that experience?
It was good because I didn't even play for a team on the weekend at the time.
Okay. And at that time, how old were you?
Pretty sure it was year 6.
Yes, 6.
So I would have been 11.
Okay. So at 11, you went for Sunderland trials. Okay. So in terms of your time there at Sunderland Academy, what was the feeling like when you got invited to come on board?
It was exciting, but once I got there, I think it just overwhelmed me, which sort of took away from it. And it was a lot more nerves than it was excitement and self-belief.
Okay. So in terms of what would actually have made your experience or your stay at Sunderland, you know, a bit better, what could they have done to make it more, you know, more comfortable for you?
I think just a bit more one-on-one with me.
Okay.
But then at the same time they had 11 other boys as well that they were choosing to pick from, so it's understandable.
Okay. So at that point, is that when you discovered that you're good at football, or you're an athlete, a sportsman?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. So fast forward from then, that's when you started playing for a team. Do you remember the team?
Yeah, Shotton Colts.
Okay. And what position were you playing then?
I was playing centre mid. I played to the...
Okay. Oh, you're playing centre mid?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. But you had a stint where you're playing as a striker, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So why didn't you like that?
Because I just enjoyed doing the dirty work, like the defence as well. As well as like the attack, so I just want to be involved a bit more. That's what I found myself. That's how I found myself playing centre mid.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So what are you currently doing now?
So right now I'm currently working at Tesco part-time, and I'm in uni studying architecture.
All right. That's interesting. So do you still play football?
Yeah, I still play football, yeah.
Okay. As you said, you play for DNS Valley, didn't you? And are you hoping to progress your football career, or is it something that you're taking as a hobby?
No, definitely progressing it, because I've heard a lot, but I've been told that I could go far playing football, so it's just I've got to take it upon myself really to push and go further.
Okay, so you have been told, but do you believe you are a good footballer?
Yeah.
Okay. How good, from a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself?
Well, 10 is like you're professional, so I'd say, like, if I'm being real, 6.
6.
5 or 6, yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. So what's stopping you currently from playing at a professional level?
don't know. I think how people are in academies and professional now, it's just down to chance and that given moment that they had, where a scout was watching them, or they played really well in front of or against academies and they got picked up, and I don't really think I've had that.
Okay, so you haven't really had the opportunity to showcase your talent.
Nah, not that I believe, no.
Okay, but I mean, having watched you from a young man, you know, when you started playing football, one of the instances that I remember is when you were in the garden. You've been always a person who has been practicing, you know, playing around, kicking about the ball in the garden, regardless of the weather. So one of the memories that stick in my mind is when you had kicked a ball, or when you had scored a ball in the garden, as I was watching from the window, from the other side of the window. You kicked the ball, then all of a sudden I saw you run around as if you're in a big football stadium, you know, celebrating the goal that you just you know, scored. Do you have many instances like that, where you are imagining yourself in that big stadium and playing for big football team?
Yeah, I do, yeah. When I play like on a weekend, we get like 30, 40 people like on an average week watching.
Wow.
So I just think I sort of like, but that's not even in my eyes a lot, because they only fill one side of the pitch, but then I sort of, when we walk out from the change room, I sort of picture the whole like pitch just surrounded by people, and I just sort of think to myself, like, if you can't do it in front of these people, then you can't do it in front of anyone.
Okay, cool. So do you do anything else besides football as a sportsman?
Not competitively, no. That's, yeah, not competitively.
I would say that's not true though, because one of the things that you do, you do refereeing, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how come you forgot about that?
No, I think we went different sports.
No, within the football arena.
Yeah, refereeing.
Can you tell us a bit about that? What's that about?
Well, I originally didn't want to do it, but then you pushed me to. So yeah, just I did a course, and I got qualified as a ref, and now every Saturday, because I play in the afternoon, so every Saturday I ref 1 or 2, even 3 games in the morning. Just gets me a bit of money really, and I enjoy refereeing. It's not even, well, it is for the money, but like, that's not the main thing, because it's a bit refreshing when you watch people like Evan Williams' age, and you see some really good players, and you just think it's just interesting to watch, really.
Okay, so what skill set have you actually gained from that? And can you just let us know how long have you been doing that for?
3 years now.
You've been doing it for 3 years. Wow.
Yeah, because I did it 1 year. I did it in the first year of sixth form.
All right.
September 2020.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 years. 2023.
Okay. So what skills have you actually gained along the way? From the first time that what has it taught you, or what has it kind of led? Has it made you a better person, or?
Yeah, I'd say one big thing about it is time management, because even some, not necessarily when I'm refereeing. I'm on time when I'm refereeing, but just in other cases, I sort of like use the time management there that I have to use for refereeing in like a normal life. Say confidence and taking control, because at the end of the day you've got like 22 kids to like look after, so you need to like take control, manage them properly, and say just interacting with people, because I'm quite like, shy, so having to meet new like 40-year-old men every week, it's you've got to like sort of
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and you've just got to sort of just have a cool head and just interact with them, just like greet them, just say I'm going to be the ref today and just whatnot. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd say you've done very well. So on hindsight, when you look back to the point where, as you said, you're being forced into it, would you have said, well, Dad, I think just forget about this, or are you kind of like grateful for that push that you got? Because now you get to earn a bit of money, but at the same time you get to gain the skill set that you didn't have. I know one of the things is confidence. You didn't really feel confident at the time, but now you become confident. You're managing your time very well on the pitch, but also I think it helps you understand from a player point of view what the ref actually goes through. So do you not occasionally make the mistake of thinking you're the ref in a game?
Yeah, that's why. So I get a bit wound up sometimes, because I know they're trying their best. Obviously, as you say, from another ref's point of view, it sort of like frustrates you when they give a decision which you know is wrong, sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it does give you a different perspective.
Okay. So how do you keep up to date with whatever is going on with in terms of like football rules and things like that? How do you keep yourself up to date?
Just by watching matches. As well as watching like the players, I watch what the referee does, and sometimes like, even the commentators will say it and say, oh, that's a new rule added by the FA, such and such, and I just remember it. But we also get like emails from Durham FA, that's like the one that I referee for.
Okay.
And not that there's not big changes, but they just sort of like, if there is, then they'll email us about it.
Okay. No, good on you. So how far are you wanting to take that aspect of your career?
If I'm being honest, for the time being, I think for as long as I referee, I'll always be just doing up to under 18s, because if I was to, as you say, go higher, then that would mean I'll have to stop playing.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to compromise that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's totally understandable. In terms of, you also mentioned the academic side of things, architecture. So how are you finding managing your time between, all that, the playing, the refereeing, and your academic work?
Yeah, it's not easy, but managing it all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So you also mentioned the part about the tech working at Tesco. So is that your first job that you've ever had, or are there any other jobs that you've held down before?
Technically speaking, no. There's a little premier down the street which I worked for about a week.
Yeah, a week.
And then, yeah. And then I don't know, that guy was weird anyway, but I don't think he wanted me working there. Yeah.
How was the experience though? For the week.
It was good because it was my first job, so obviously I was getting a bit of money. So it was exciting. But now I look back at it, I don't think if he didn't want me there, then I would have left anyway, because it just wasn't really good.
Okay. No, it's understandable. So fast forward, I always consider as watching you from a child up to where you are now, and I personally consider you having taught me some things. The value of, say, consistency. You've been consistent in the area of sport, playing football under all weathers, taking you to different venues and that kind of thing. So can you tell me what actually fuels you to give the time that you give into football?
I think it's a thing of just enjoying it, but at the same time, I think of it, if you're not going to do it now, or if you don't want to do it at DCBC when it's cold, then how can you expect to do it in like a professional environment?
Okay. No, that's understandable. So what I want to know is, what does the future hold for Alma?
Obviously, our dreams to play at some sort of like level of professional football, but another dream of mine is that to just be successful in having not either, because I can do all of it, to be honest, but like I've always enjoyed cooking, so having my own restaurant which is successful, that's one thing. Another thing is being successful in the course that I'm doing, in the architecture realm.
Okay.
That'll also be, I feel really pleased with that as well.
Oh no, that's good. So tell me something. You being the first born in terms of the boys, obviously you've got your sister there. How does it feel like being taken from Alicia and Alma? How does it feel like having siblings behind you and you being kind of like an exemplary figure?
It's good. If anything, I take inspiration from Jo, because she's doing well herself. She's only 3 years older than me, and but in terms of Evan and William and Deborah, it's good because I know that Evan and William definitely look up to me, because obviously I'm a boy as well, and I play football as well, so I know they look up to me, so I feel good to sort of know I'm a role model to them, but to Deborah as well. Just feels good to know that I can be there and protect her all the time.
Ah, that's good. That's good. It's good to know. We are definitely proud of you, Mr. Al, and we're proud of Alicia as well, as I expressed in the previous interview. Um, However, it's always been a challenge, being a parent. What advice would you give to other peers out there, in terms of, like, how they need to? I know it's a challenging area, teenagehood and adulthood is a transition that is a bit difficult. What advice would you give to other young people out there and those that are just entering into childhood?
So just always keep your close ones close, really, because you always need them when you're like growing up. So I'd say that's like the main thing.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to give as a bit of advice in terms of career paths, in terms of passion? Because I would say you're very passionate about sport. As you said, rightfully you're an athlete.
Yeah. So if you're talking about like careers and that, just do what interests you most. It's not necessarily always about like the money and that, although it's good, but it's someone at work. This man said to me at work, if you do something that you love or you do something you enjoy, you'll never work a day in your life. So.
Yes, I'm sure it's one of those quotes that you must probably have from me, but it's like, if ever you do something you enjoy, you'll never work for the rest of your life. But one of the things that I am particularly interested in is the aspect of your faith. We are a faith-based family, Christians to be precise. What role does that play in your life?
It's probably the biggest role, because I just feel like protected, and just protected and safe, really, because when you pray at night, when you pray when you wake up and stuff, like, just sort of give you like the faith that you're protected. That's how I think of it as.
Okay. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But scripturally, it says that it is your gift that makes room for you. So it even makes you sit amongst at the table of the kings. So if you focus on your gift, that's what makes you, not work, but it's more like play. But while you're doing that, you're adding, or you're becoming more successful. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So as a parent, what in order to help other parents understand young people, what advice would you give to a parent like me who comes from an African background, and rightfully, I mean, you were born here, so culturally, we are miles apart. So what advice would you give to other parents out there?
So, just need to understand, firstly, like, your child, then I know, like, obviously parents have their rules and stuff, but like, this doesn't obviously go with everything, but at the same time understand sort of like the world that they live in, sort of. So like, know. Because I think the most failed relationships between like parents and children is when like the parent doesn't understand the child and doesn't understand like sort of like the world that they live in, the world that we are in today. Because it's like, though, it's just two worlds apart. I think if like parents go off that, that's what I think of it.
Okay. No, thank you for that. So as a final note, what would you say to me as your parent, as I am starting a new venture, TV Talk? I think you guys look at me and think, oh, this man is crazy. So what advice would you give me, to help me along this new journey that I have started?
Just to keep at it. Just keep doing it, like it's what you enjoy, so just keep doing what you enjoy, really, and the benefits will come from it.
Okay. No, thank you, Mr. Al. It's been a pleasure having you on TV Talk. And I very much appreciate you and would like to see you succeed in your career. And I hope we will get the opportunity to invite you back at the point where you have become famous and at the point where this channel has grown. Wishing you all the best in all your endeavors, including uni. But the thing that you have said about hard work, I've seen you put in the work, and it's good to see that you're actually emulating your sister in what she's doing, because she's successful in her own right. So we would like to toast, to your success, Mr. Al, because you have been successful and continue doing what you continue, to work hard at. Thank you for having, for being on the channel, and wishing you all the best in the future.